Coming up next on this edition of In the City, an 11-year-old boy makes a big difference in the community by starting his own charity. Also, for the 2018-2019 Murfreesboro City school year, there will be a school safety education officer in every school. Plus, The Little Mermaid makes a splash on the stage to sold-out performances. And the Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue Department is recognized with an award for excellence in fire services. We'll tell you all about those stories and more coming up right now on this edition of In the City. Welcome to another edition of In the City, your source for what's happening right here in the city of Murfreesboro. I'm Michael Linn White. 11-year-old Noah Gaines is recognized for his hard work helping the homeless and gets a key to the city from the mayor.
My name is Noah Gaines. I'm 11 years old. I go to Case Lane Academy.
Noah had a simple request. He wanted to somehow help the homeless.
Around age 8, he asked me, he says, "Mom, there's a lot of homeless people on the street. What can we do?"
Noah and his mom came up with an idea to hand out clothes, food, and other useful items.
I always just see homeless people and I wanted to help them. And I told my mom, how can we help? She says, well, we can make goodie baskets and we can just provide them with some food and with some things that can be useful. And it was a cold day for that, so we also put some hats in there, some clean socks, toothbrushes, and some stuff for them to clean up as well.
It didn't take long for others to notice and want to help. Soon, Noah's family and friends got involved, and his church, Allen Chapel, gave him a place to store his things.
All the clothes that I have, all the hangers that I got from families, and here's the shoes that we all got from people who donated, including some of my family members as well.
Noah also wants to make sure those he helps not only feel good, but look good too.
Make sure they have the right clothes that fit, and seeing if that's them, if they like it or not.
Noah's hard work got the attention of Murfreesboro's Vice Mayor, Madeline Scales Harris. She invited Noah to attend a city council meeting to tell the council about his work and lead the prayer and pledge of allegiance.
A couple of weeks ago, I met the most motivating and inspiring young man I think I've ever met in my life. And I'm going to call him up, Noah Gaines.
Every fourth Saturday, we would go to the church and we would always feed and clothe the homeless.
And what's the name of your foundation you've started?
Noah's Heart Ministry.
Noah's Heart Mission.
Oh, cool.
Dear Lord, thank you for this day today. Thank you for waking us up and letting us come out and enjoy ourselves today, Lord. And thank you for everyone else who came out today, Lord, and just came here just to be in something so special.
After Noah's touching prayer and pledge, something happened that surprised everyone.
Can y'all give me a couple of minutes? 2 minutes.
I was just going there just to say the Pledge of Allegiance and the speech and tell what I was doing with my ministry. But then there was such a surprise. I was wondering what the mayor was about to do. I was oh, I wonder what he's getting and all. Then he just pops up and then he says, "No, I'd like to give you the key to the city." And I was so happy. I was so honored to get the key to the city.
We ought to just adjourn the meeting right now.
Noah says one thing he really needs for Noah's Heart is extra storage, like a shed for his donations.
We really need a storage to put all of our extra stuff in, so that's how we can have more room.
Noah's Heart Ministry serves anyone in need on the fourth Saturday of every month at Allen Chapel on South Manny Avenue, and Noah has big dreams for his ministry.
Well, what I see for Noah's Heart Ministry, that it will keep on growing and growing, and everyone will be thankful for what they had, and even the homeless people will be happy because they have someone that's actually there for them and share the bread with them. Like God said in Proverbs 22, verse 9.
There's no doubt Noah has an amazing support system. This exceptional young man gives credit to the wonderful women who've raised him.
Thank you, Mom, my grandma, for always being there for me and helping me through the tough times when I actually did need them. And I just want to thank them so much for even raising me. It shaped me into a boy I am right now.
After many years of discussion, 2 city departments have come together on the new 2019 city budget, which will include new personnel that will increase the safety in our city schools.
Safety in our schools is a topic that has been on the hearts and minds of people throughout this country. In this year's City of Murfreesboro budget, the Murfreesboro Police Department has stepped up to fund a police officer in every city school. The position is called School Safety Education Officer.
This is something we've been pushing for several years. Now we finally have the resources, the officers available to do this, and the officers to be able to move into the schools full time. We've been working with Dr. Gilbert and the administration at City Schools for a long time now. We have a great relationship. They've really been great to work with and helping us get in those schools.
These officers are already teaching the DARE curriculum in the schools, but instead of moving around from school to school, they will be assigned to stay at one school all day.
I had 8 to begin with. We're currently moving to a staff of 15 to be able to give us coverage in every city school and have alternates to be able to cover if somebody were to be out in training, an illness in the family, something like that. It also gives us the ability to continue teaching DARE at Middle Tennessee Christian School and St. Rose Catholic School. We'll have one officer assigned to each school. They'll arrive about 15 minutes before arrival starts in the mornings, and they'll be there the entire day until dismissal lets out at the end of the day. So there'll be an officer in that building physically every day. The majority of their job is going to be focused on campus safety, mitigating any situations that happen, anything that they can assist with, anything that comes up that could be police related. The other part of our job is education. We do teach DARE in great classes in our city schools. So we want to make sure we continue on teaching, but we're taking the safety aspect first. We do a lot of safety drills each year. This is nothing that's going to change. While we can't go into the specifics of the drills, they're used to it by now. They're comfortable doing the drills and have been very, very good at it. For a lot of these kids, this is their first interaction with a police officer, is their officer at the school. And we want to interact, we want to engage, we want to help mentor, we want to help teach, help them with decision making before they make bad choices down the line. And we always want to make sure that they realize that police officers are there to help, and we want that interaction first.
Not only do these officers engage with the kids, they will also be there to help in any way with the parents.
I can tell you that our officers now deal with parents, talking with them through issues, stuff that happens at home that they need advice with. We still take care of those too if they come to the officer at the school. We hope having that officer there gives them a sense of comfort, that their kids are there, they're protected, they're being taken care of, and to be able to relax a little bit and send them to our schools and let them continue on their education the way they have been, and just feel a little more comfortable doing so. Like I told somebody the other day, I hope that we become the model for other agencies to look at. I really want people to look at Murfreesboro Police and Murfreesboro City Schools and say, you know, if they're doing things right, that's the way we want to do things.
The Murfreesboro Center for the Arts does it again with a spectacular live performance of the classic children's movie, The Little Mermaid. The fun continues at the Murfreesboro Center for the Arts with their latest show, Disney's The Little Mermaid. The ever-popular children's movie comes to life on the stage with an exciting show for the whole family.
We're having so much fun bringing this fun Disney show to all different ages. We've had a lot of kids, a lot of different ages, and then we have the tea parties in the afternoons, and all the little princesses and King Tritons come out, and the magic, the Disney magic is just so incredible for everybody.
The Center for the Arts is always looking for new and fun ways to involve the community, and with this show, it was the perfect setting to do something special. Organizers decided to have a tea before the show to add to the whole theater experience.
Sometimes this is their first time in theater, and we want them to understand the difference between the movie and the theater is that it brings it to life right in front of you. So this is the opportunity that they have to meet the actors and to meet the characters up close and personal.
This show and all shows at the center has actors of all ages from the community, and you don't have to be a professional to audition. Kelly Turner is used to singing on stage, but this time decided to try her hand at acting. With this being only her second show, she proves it's never too late to try something different.
I am playing everybody's favorite villain, Ursula, and I'm having a great time doing it with this phenomenal cast, because I'm relatively new to the theater community, and these kids, as I would call them, have so much experience and so much talent. I'm learning so much and having a blast being bad.
Many of the actors come back and audition again and again because they say the Murfreesboro Center for the Arts is a true community and that it's just so much fun.
Here it really is a community, and we all just love each other. We're like a big family here, and I'm getting to share the stage again with a lot of people I was in Hairspray with, and I'm just so ecstatic to be doing this all with them again. We just have so much fun. It's a blast.
Kids seem to really get into the show. Its energy holds their attention from beginning to end. The characters say that there's nothing like putting a smile on a child's face.
It's a dream come true. I mean, truly getting to see the faces of children when they see me or Brooke when she's Ariel, just seeing their faces light up and they love to run up and give us a hug. It's like you can see that we're making their day, and it's such an amazing feeling to be able to do that for somebody.
And if you're wondering if the cast has fun playing these characters, well, here's what they had to say.
Oh my goodness,
Absolutely.
yes.
Found her so much fun to play. All you have to do is just be excited the entire time, so it's a lot of fun.
I get to scream my face off.
I
have no problem.
That's pretty much what I do.
The Little Mermaid will be playing through the end of the month, so grab your tickets now. Reporting for CityTV, I'm Michael Linn White. With a city rapidly growing like Murfreesboro, it can be a challenge for city departments to keep up. A department was awarded for its services by an organization that works very closely with cities across Tennessee.
The Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue Department received a Tennessee Municipal League Award for excellence in fire services. The honor was for the efforts taken by the department for its leadership, communication, and to meet the needs of citizens and employees.
TML does awards for different cities across the state that provide excellent services, and TML recognizes departments that are doing those things well year in and year out.
One of the judging criteria was the department's new employee organizational chart.
Promotion-wise, having all the job descriptions laid out for all the requirements for each position, everything kind of in a written format to where everybody can see it, and it's very transparent plan to where everybody knows where they sit and what the avenues are for the next possibility in their career.
Another criteria was the promotional process as employees move up the ladder in their career at Murfreesboro Fire and Rescue.
Yeah, that's part of our promotional process to kind of remove all the biases that may happen with internal processes and make things fair and equal for everyone. We work through MTAS and the Municipal Technical Advisory Service, the UT. They come in and evaluate our personnel based on the promotional criteria for each position.
Also, the department has added some specialty positions.
Yeah, our 3 new fire and life safety specialists fall under our Community Risk Reduction Division, which we renamed a couple of years ago from the Fire Marshal's Office to Community Risk Reduction because it better encapsulates everything we do as a department. We do a lot of child safety seat installations. We do public education programs in our schools. That's all within the Community Risk Reduction.
Emergency medical services have been increased to better serve the public.
Yeah, over the last couple of years, we've really enhanced what we're capable of doing with emergency medical services. All of our advanced EMTs, we're carrying medications on all of our fire trucks and all of our apparatus around the city now. And in addition to that, we have enough paramedics to where 4 of our stations are completely advanced life support. We are actually responding out of those 4 stations to about 75% of our medical calls. And having paramedics at those stations where we're answering the most calls makes a big difference in the lives of our citizens.
Construction of a new training center is well on its way with an October 2018 projected opening.
Our training center, the drill tower is complete, and of course we kept 5 of the apartment buildings from the old Franklin Heights apartment complex that was there on site. We are currently on site work, and they're completing the driving pad, the concrete around the drill tower, and a lot of the other site provisions.
A strategic plan is also being formulated to meet the needs of citizens and employees.
Yeah, we're doing a formalized strategic planning process, and right now we've already collected data from our internal stakeholders, which are our personnel, asking them about issues that they see within the department and what we may need to address that may become issues with them through a confidential survey. We've had a couple of stakeholder meetings with citizens. We've also put surveys out to the citizens asking them what's important for us to provide them and how we're doing at providing level of service. And that's all going to come together with a strategic plan for our department and set kind of the direction for the next 15 to 20 years. It's due to the quality of our employees and the way that they are and how much they enjoy taking care of our citizens is the reason that we got this award. The property of our citizens, the lives of our citizens mean an incredible amount to our employees, and I'm really, really proud of our employees and what they do for our citizens.
The Murfreesboro City School Department recently unveiled a new tool to combat declining reading skills over the summer break.
Most education professionals agree on the importance of children to continue to read during summer break. And if some kids don't have access to a library during this time, what can they do? The Murfreesboro City Schools unveiled their new mobile library called Books on a Bus, or BOB. A retired school bus was transformed into this mobile library, which is air-conditioned and includes shelving, seating, video presentation lab for enrichment programs, as well as a Wi-Fi feature. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held at Hopgood Elementary, where the city schools director thanked the departments that transformed this bus.
So our maintenance department, they really were responsible, and transportation for basically gutting a bus and making it look brand new, and it looks absolutely wonderful. And also our technology department. So would you please give all those people that I just mentioned a round of applause.
I can remember back years ago when I was in elementary school, we didn't have an area where we could go and check out books and read at whatever level we wanted to, and I think this is one of the best things that we have been able to do with Murfreesboro City Schools.
We have, I think, about 1,000 books on the bus, and I don't know how many came in from Read to Succeed today, but we probably have 5,000 to 6,000 in the back as well. So we're going to keep those books coming so we can keep it stocked.
So what we're looking at is our communities that children may be more at risk. And so we want to be sure that they have books in their hand, that we spend the summer reading to avoid that summer slide and losing academic performance. We will go to the stop and we'll stay approximately 30 minutes. The children will come on the bus. We'll have chairs set up outside. We're going to encourage parents to read with their children while they're there, if the parents come out with the students. And we'll stay there 30 minutes. If the students want to come back the next week, they can bring the books back, or they can keep the books and get more books.
Too many school systems do school well, and so we really like to think outside of the box and figure out, okay, what can we do outside the school building? And certainly this is one of those things. So when you look at what we've done with the Chow Bus, which really is a model for the state, that we actually have taken the food out to the children that can't get to them, which makes perfect sense. So why not take the books out to the children? Tennessee focuses on test scores. I'm focused on children, so I want our children to learn, and I want them to love reading. And so if this helps them love reading and have access to books, that's exactly what we want.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's a day celebrated all over the country to honor those who fought for freedom for enslaved African Americans. The annual Juneteenth celebration here in Murfreesboro was a success. The annual Juneteenth celebration drew crowds in spite of the heat. Hundreds gathered in front of Bradley Academy to celebrate this important event in our history.
We are just happy to be here celebrating everybody who is participating, celebrating the Bradley Academy, which has a great history for education and cultural standards. We are in Murfreesboro, which is a great city to live in, and we are thankful for the city to support an event like this.
On June 19, 1865, Major General Gordon Granger made his way to Texas to deliver the news that President Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves 2 years earlier. It's still unclear as to why the news took so long to reach Texas, but now many consider that day the end of slavery in this country, and it continues to be honored with Juneteenth celebrations across the nation. Right here in Murfreesboro, people of all ages and ethnicities came out to Bradley Museum to celebrate and honor those who paid the price and fought for freedom. Resident June LaGreen, who portrays Harriet Tubman, talks about the significance of this event and of important women like Tubman, and just how vital it is that young people know the sacrifices of those who came before them.
We want them to see and know about what happened before them so that they know they didn't always have the right to go to a shopping mall, or they didn't always have the right to hang out because the times were very serious back then. And I'm going to give a little bit of a portrayal when I do Harriet Tubman to let them know that the struggle was real and they are the benefactors of that struggle.
It wasn't just young people who were there to celebrate and learn. Some who were part of the civil rights movement themselves were there to remember and support.
I marched with Dr. King, Andrew Young, Jose Williams. We integrated the restaurants, the motels, went to jail multiple times for it. And, but I wanted to see a change.
It was an all-day event filled with music and dance, free museum tours, booths, a parade. It truly was a day of celebration, and those attending say just how important it is to never forget those who paid the price for all we have now.
You can't forget your past. You don't want to live in the past, but you need to know the sacrifice that many people made.
Juneteenth has been celebrated in Murfreesboro since 2002, and this year it's the first time the city has partnered with Bradley Museum for the event. Reporting for CityTV, I'm Michael Linn White. June is always a busy time for Murfreesboro City Departments. It's a time they plan out their goals and objectives for the coming year and present them to the City Council.
Another budget year has come and gone for the Murfreesboro City Council. This year, the resignation of the city manager and the assistant city manager stepping into that role gave the budget discussion a new focus. After the budget was passed on second and final reading, I got the reaction from council members about this year's process.
As a council, and one of those priorities for us was to try to move us towards a truly balanced budget. It's a difficult thing to do in 1 year, but we started the process this year. Unfortunately, that meant some cuts in some things and some hard decisions, but I think we achieved what we wanted to achieve and trying to get us on a path to have a balanced budget in the next 2 to 3 years.
I think really as one of the 10th fastest growing cities in the country, we have to realize what was priority this year. And I think that's what made the difference in trying to balance the budget. We had to cut back on a few things. Some things we did and some other things we didn't. You know, one prime example is the Blackman Park. Everybody was pushing for the Blackman Park, but we had to delay it. It will be done, but we had to delay it just like anything else.
Well, I think, every budget process, every time we go through the budget process, we learn something about ourselves. It's whether you look at your own budget, you realize, well, what am I doing? What are my priorities? And they say, you want to know what your priorities are, look at your wallet, because that's what you're spending on is what your, what your priorities are. And what we saw is that we were depending upon reserves and that is not a sustainable policy to have for an individual or for a city government. So we looked at that hard. The first thing you do is look at efficiencies and how you can slim down to be able to control make sure that you're not spending more than you're making. Looks like we've got about a 3 to 5 year plan to be able to start to reduce our dependency on fund balance use for our budgets, and I think in the long term that will really serve our citizens and serve our community.
It's definitely not a situation where the sky is falling when we look at our budget, which I think a lot of people were extremely concerned, and we should always take the budget very seriously. But I think this year we were challenged because we have some expenses that for schools and stuff maybe 13, 14 years ago that are going to drop off in a couple years, and the budget will take care of itself. But in the meantime, we do not want to go too deeply into our surplus revenues or our reserve funds. And in order to make sure that we're responsible with how we're spending money, we have really tightened the belt, and I think that's really what the taxpayers expect from us.
The budget this year it's not really much different than it has always been. It's the fact that we're growing. And as we're growing, we are having growing pains. And the budget is a working document. That's what it is. It's a document that we go by. We try to go by it as close as possible. And it's amended. Different times we have to go through and make changes. I think a lot of people panic because we dissected it a lot closer, I think, than we ever have because of the challenges that we have. So we just really set priorities this time, and by setting priorities, we're more focused on where we're going, where we want to go. So we're good.
Yeah, I mean, you know, this is, I guess, my 13th or 14th one of these, and this has by far been the toughest one. Yeah, I mean, not from a standpoint of that there's not good things going in the community. You know, I think looking at what we approved and what we put an emphasis, continued emphasis on public safety, you know, keeping Murfreesboro safe. We put a continued emphasis on education with our new school that we're going to build, and then we put an emphasis on road projects. And with all of that, even looking at our parks and recreation system, it all goes together to make Murfreesboro what it is. Now, you know, we're going to have some tough years moving forward just dealing with the growth that we have, but I think we've put the keys in place to easily be able to manage that moving forward.
Murfreesboro City Schools' ESP program keeps kids busy throughout the summer with their exciting summer camps that offer a wide range of activities.
For Murfreesboro City Schools, care for children in the community doesn't stop when the school year ends. Programs like the Extended School Program, or ESP, has events throughout the summer like this fun archery camp to introduce them to new and exciting things. Archery is something new for most attending, and instructors say it's something they can quickly pick up and see progress.
We started Monday with the very basics. A lot of the kids hadn't shot at all, so we just did the basics, and they've come a really long way in 3 days, so they're just getting better every day.
Kids really get into this and seem to love it. These bows are on loan from Mitchell Nilsson Elementary. Third grader Cadence Graves shows us how to pick out the right one.
I'm going to start off with the easiest bows. The light red ones, they're like the easiest to pull back. The blue one is like after the orange one. It's a little harder to pull back, and then it will get a little harder. The black one is the hardest to pull back. You might have noticed I didn't say anything about the green ones. The green ones, they're left-handed.
Those participating say this sport is not just for fun, but it takes discipline too.
It's really fun. You do have to have lots of discipline because it's archery, and archery can hurt you if you do it wrong. But it's really fun, and kids who want to do it should.
Anyone in the Murfreesboro City School District can enroll in ESP at any time to take advantage of these awesome camps.
The students love ESP, especially during the summer. It gets them something to do, it gets them out of the house.
Even though archery takes discipline and some time to learn, the overwhelming theme seems to be the rewards from their hard work.
I think everybody's come a long way since 2 days ago when we first started, and everybody is pretty good. Most people are getting bullseyes.
And I think archery is very fun. Every day I try to get better and better.
I think archery is really fun and it's really challenging, and I feel really free when I'm shooting. Well, once you get the hang of everything, well, then you're free. But before that, you got to get all the basics down.
Everyone is getting better and better. Earlier, like on Monday, I was only shooting like 3s and 4s, and now I'm hitting bullseyes.
The only reason that I got better is basically because of my coach.
In other news, a DeKalb County high school graduate and Murfreesboro, Tennessee native is currently serving with a U.S. Navy Strike Fighter Squadron, which flies one of the world's most advanced warplanes. Petty Officer 3rd Class Benjamin Mahaffey is an aviation electronics technician with the Fighting Redcocks, which operates out of Naval Air Station Lemoore. Starting July 2nd, the Murfreesboro Electric Department office will have new hours Monday through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. On Monday, June 25th, 2018, the Murfreesboro Police Department officially started operating out of the new police headquarters facility located at 1004 North Highland Avenue. The previous headquarters, located at 302 South Church Street, will no longer be accessible to the public. This includes any adjacent buildings located on South Church Street that were previously used by the Murfreesboro Police Department. Well, that's it for this edition of In the City. As always, for more information about the city of Murfreesboro or any of the stories you've seen here, you can always visit our website at www.murfreesborotn.gov. And if you want to see one of the stories that you've seen today or catch up on some of the latest city news, you can always visit the City of Murfreesboro's YouTube channel. I'm Michael Linn White, and until next time, we look forward to seeing you in the city.